I'm Coach Corey Wayne, and this is my video coaching newsletter. And the topic of this newsletter is creating attraction when you've got a stuttering problem or some kind of weird speech impediment. At the end of the day, if you got, whether you're bald, or, I got a buddy of mine who got blown up in Iraq in 2006. He's got a glass eye, and he's got a traumatic brain injury, and so he has a lot of problems with the injury that he has. It makes it difficult for him to function sometimes just because he got fucking blown up. And like one of his nipples is like up here, and he's like, his chest is just all fucked up. He spent 1.5 years in Walter Reed Medical Center recovering from his injuries. But he's really successful with women because he's got a I don't give a fuck attitude in life. Because, he's going to be on disability for the rest of his life. And so he spends a lot of his time going to the beach, meeting women online, hanging out, hooking up, just having a great fucking time. And he's proud of his service. He's proud of the fact that he got 19 of those sons of bitches before he got blown up. And he's unapologetic. He doesn't fucking care. And women think it's sexy as hell that he's a wounded war veteran. And they don't hold it against him. He's unapologetic for it. He's very proud, and he wears it with honor like he should, because he's a fucking warrior. He's a man. Men don't give a shit whether people think about them. They simply show up in the world, and they present themselves as who they are, and they're totally unapologetic for it. And people that don't like it, or like him, or like the way he is, he doesn't give a shit. It doesn't bother him. I saw this thing the other day, and it basically said something to the effect of, if you don't like me, you can take a seat next to the rest of the bitches who are waiting for me to give a fuck. I think it was Chad Ochocinco, actually, that was something I saw that he posted on his Twitter feed. It's a great attitude. Have you ever seen the way he is in some of his pictures that he posts on Twitter? A lot of times he's sitting there doing this when he's smiling, and people are like, why do you do that? And he says, because that's just for all the people that hate me and don't like me, because that's my attitude towards him. He doesn't give a fuck. He succeeds anyways, despite what other people think of him. And that's the attitude you've got to have, especially with women. If you want to create attraction and you've got some kind of weird speech impediment, or you're missing a leg, or you got a club foot, or you got a stuttering problem, or you lost all your hair. I had a buddy in high school who was almost bald by the time he was 18, and his hair was totally thin. And he didn't give a fuck. It's just the way he was, and he just laughed. We would laugh about it, and he would laugh about it, and the girls didn't care. He still fucking got laid. He still hooked up. Didn't matter to him, but it's like, when you care about things, when you're insecure about things about yourself, then what you're communicating is you communicate that you're insecure about yourself and that you feel like you're somehow less than as a man. And most of you watching this haven't gotten fucking blown up and haven't left parts of your body on the battlefield and you're scarred for life. And so you have nothing to fucking whine about. You have nothing to fucking cry about. At the end of the day, when a woman senses weakness in you, when she senses that you're insecure about something about yourself, she's going to probe and test, because women want a strong man. Women want a man that doesn't give a shit about these things. Because when you act insecure about yourself, when you're unsure of yourself, when you are apologetic for a speech impediment or a physical thing, or that you don't look like everybody else, you have a big nose, whatever the hell it happens to be, you're communicating that you're unsure of yourself, and that's feminine energy. In essence, you're acting like a woman in those moments. And so when you act like a woman around women who like men, they'll treat you like a male girlfriend and be your friend, but they want a man who doesn't give a shit. If you got a beard, like me, I like to have a few days worth of growth on my face. Why? Because I like it, and I don't give a fuck. I like to shave my head because it's easy, it's convenient, and it's just, at this point in my life, this is what I want, and this is what I like. And women that don't like that or don't appreciate it, I really don't fucking care. Here's a quarter, call somebody who fucking cares. And that's the attitude that you should have towards things. So he says in his email, he says, hey Corey, I love your videos and book, and I find it all very useful. I feel like I can use all of the techniques you teach, but there is one problem in the way. I suffer from a speech impediment. Ever since I was a child, I have stuttered, sometimes severely. Who gives a fuck? It doesn't fucking matter. Get over it. It's part of you. God created you the way you are for a reason. He had a purpose in mind when he designed you. There's a guy, I forget his name, I think his name is like Sean something or other. He's like about this this big. I mean, literally, he's about 2.5 feet tall. He can't walk. He's in a wheelchair. And yet he has no problem acting creepy or weird. I mean, his tongue is so giant that when he talks, it's kind of, it just hangs out of his face. But he doesn't give a shit. He's a great speaker, and he doesn't allow the fact that he's physically impaired compared to most people hold him back in enjoying and experiencing life. And chicks like that. They think it's sexy. They love his confidence. At the end of the day, women are more attracted to a man's confidence and his sense of his masculinity in himself than they are to looks. I mean, when you ask most women, looks are usually going to be third or fourth on their list as far as the most important qualities. Now, because we're men, we're visual creatures, that's usually the first thing that we notice about women is that we're physically attracted to them because they're physically beautiful, they look young, they look fertile. That's what draws us into a woman. And then later, once we get to know them as a person, get to know what their personality like, obviously that draws us in even more. And we mistakenly, guys that don't understand women or who are just starting to learn about this stuff, mistakenly assume that women place the same high value on looks that men do, and it's completely the opposite. Women are going to be more sexually attracted to a man who's unapologetic for who he is and what he's got in his life. So he says, when I talk to women, I often stutter on basic things like my name, which I feel is a major turnoff. It's only a turnoff if you think it's a turnoff. He says, and plus the reason you probably stutter a little bit more is because you're nervous. And if you feel a little nervous, you say, you know what, I feel a little nervous around you, and it's causing me to stutter a little bit. And what you could say is that all that means is that you must be a really special lady. I mean, that's probably the way you should come off and just say, in other words, you're saying, you're using self-deprecating humor is like, wow, I don't normally get this way around women unless I'm around a chick that's really special. There must be something really special about you because I wouldn't be stuttering as much as I am right now. So tell me about yourself. I want to find out what's so amazing about you. And then you start asking her questions, getting her to talk, and she'll laugh at you and she'll think it's cute and it's charming that she's having an effect on you because it's going to make, what it's going to do when you talk like that, it's going to make her feel special. In other words, make her feel more special and more beautiful than most women and communicate that in a way you're selective and that you don't sleep around with just any girl or any old woman because all women want to feel beautiful. They want to feel special because feminine energy grows through praise. And so if you acknowledge something about a woman, even if you're feeling a little nervous and it makes you stutter a little bit more than normal, you can say, well, I use my stuttering problem as a gauge of how hot and how amazing a woman is. So the more I stutter and the more my speech impediment gets in the way, that's how I know that I've got a really awesome lady and I really need to pay attention and get to know her. That's all you got to say is say things like that and she'll love you. She'll find it endearing and she'll laugh at it because if you can laugh at yourself, she'll laugh with you. He says they might interpret it as nervousness or weakness when it usually isn't either of those things. And like I said, say exactly what I just said, and that'll be the perfect way to handle that. What advice would you give to convey to a woman that I suffer from a speech impediment, but is not what defines me? You don't, like that statement communicates like you need to apologize for what you have. You need to embrace who you are. You need to embrace the fact that you have a stuttering problem or a speech impediment, and just communicate that it's just say God gifted you with this speech impediment because it helps me know when I'm talking to a really fucking awesome chick because the more I stutter, the more it means that she's really awesome and really special and I really need to fucking pay attention and value her. It's like, tell me about yourself. What do you do when you're not out getting fucking drunk or when you're not out hanging out and talking to strange guys in the street or talking to strange stuttering dudes in the mall? What do you like to do for fun? What's the craziest thing you ever did in your life? Find out questions because you're basically communicating to her that, wow, you're really special. I want to know why, what's so special about you. That's the way that I would approach it. And he says, do I come out right at the beginning of a conversation and say I have this problem or use self-deprecating humor? It's like you're right away, you're acting as if a guy, like you have to prove something to her. As a man, you ain't got to prove fucking jack shit to a woman. You're a man. You're stand your ground, stand in your place, stand tall, stand proud. Just like I talk about in the YouTube video that I did, body language that attracts women. Google that and look at the body language and the physiology and make sure you have confident, strong alpha male physiology, because then you can, like I said, you can use your speech impediment as a gift, as a blessing, and that's the way you need to look at it, because that's what it is. And use that. Just tell women that's something that God built into you. It's like your little super hot chick alarm, or super hot special chick alarm. Come up with some kind of reason, or come up with a name, a clever name like that. That just say it's like my little automatic intuition or my automatic alarm that lets me know that I'm talking to somebody really special and I need to pay attention, because the more I stutter, the more special a girl is. And you communicate that way, she'll giggle and she'll laugh along with you. And the more you talk to her and the more you do it, the more you realize it's not really that big a deal. And then when you calm down and you relax and you breathe and you take your time when you're talking to her, you'll find out that you stutter less, which makes you look even hotter. So if you've got a question that you want to ask me, or there's a topic you want me to cover in a future video newsletter, go to my website, click the Contact Me tab, which is going to be on the left-hand side of your screen. Send me 1 to 2 paragraphs max, detailing your questions, your situation, your challenges. And you just got to give me several days to get back to you with a response, because I get a lot of email from the internet. And I also get a lot of it from my paying phone coaching customers. But be patient, and I will get back to you. And if you want to talk to me right away, the quickest way to get my help is to book a paid phone coaching session. And you can do that by going to my website, click the Products tab, which is going to be at the top of your screen, and follow the instructions. And if you want to get a digital version of my Kindle ebook, you don't have to have a Kindle device to read it. All you have to do is download one of Amazon's free Kindle e-reader apps. And so on my website, underneath the email sign-up box, is going to be a box that will have a link to the Amazon Kindle download page. And once you get there, on the right-hand side is a button that will take you to a page where you can download one of their free Kindle e-reader apps for your Android smartphone, your iPhone, your Mac, your PC, or any electronic device that you want to read my book on. It takes a matter of seconds to download the app, and then just a few more seconds to download my book once you've got the app installed, and then you'll be reading my book in no time. And I will talk to you soon.